Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first episode of my Cabin Crew Simulator Talk series, where we don't play the game, we just do some stuff related to the game. And I figured I would kick off this series with a YouTube video about what your favourite plane in Cabin Crew Simulator says about you. Now, this is all meant as a joke, and please do not take any of it seriously. Just a few credits where it's due. The Cabin Crew Simulator logo is by the Cruising Studios development team. All the plane pictures are taken directly off the Cabin Crew Simulator wiki, and there's the wiki link, and I'll also have it put in the description. And a small disclaimer, the price of the 7879 is the price of the 7878, which you have to get for, and also the 7879. The price of the 78710 is the price of the 7878, the 7879, and the 78710. The price of the A350-900 is the price of the A350-1000 and the A350-900. And the price for the 7478 is the price of the 747400 and the 7478. So anyway, if your favourite plane is the ERJ-145, you are a starter player, nothing else, and there's no two ways about it. You have just started playing Cabin Crew Simulator and can't afford any other plane. But honestly, you don't care about that. You're just happy to be playing Cabin Crew Simulator, and as you can see, that it's free. If your favourite plane is the CRJ200, you're either a big fan of Bombardier or are just as forgettable as the plane, and you do not mind that. You just like being there, even if no one really noticed you. As you can see, there it costs 1,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the Dash 8, you like turboprops a bit too much. I get they are cool, but do you really need to constantly fly the Dash 8 out of all the planes in Cabin Crew Simulator? You also like the fact that this is the first plane that allows multiplayer, and as you can see, it costs 2,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the E175, you like the fact that it feels tall despite being incredibly small. You always do multiplayer with friends because you think your AI is broken for not doing all the work. And as you can see, it is 2,100 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B717-200, you like being a bit quirky and a bit different, but not too different. You always fly to Honolulu, just like real 717s do. You also found out that you need to train your AI to make them do more work, and as you can see, it costs 2,750 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the Avro RJ100, you absolutely love quadjets but can't afford the wide-body ones, so you settle for this as the next best thing. You also enjoy having two AI flight attendants to help you out, and as you can see, it costs 3,100 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the A220-300, you will not shut up about unlocking business class, because let's be real, this is your favourite because it has business class and it's the first plane to have business class. And as you can see, it costs 3,600 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B737-800, you fly the B737-800 with a Ryanair livery because you think it's peak comedy. You also believe owning the most common Boeing somehow makes you elite. It doesn't. It just means you blended in to the background. If your favourite plane is the A320, you fly the A320 because you want to feel like a real flight attendant, even though most planes have the A320 as well. You think you are the main character, but you're actually just something everyone else ignores. And as you can see, it costs 5,500 Skybucks. Also, very quickly, this plane costs 3,750 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the A321, you fly the A321 because you wanted something bigger than the A320, but didn't want to commit to a real upgrade. You act like it's a long haul beast when it's only an A320 that went to the gym once. You keep pretending it's special when it's actually the A320 stretched cousin. And as you can see, it costs 7,500 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B757-200, you fly the 757 because you actually have taste. You didn't pick a narrow body, you picked the narrow body. You like planes for personality, performance, and presence. And you know the 757 does that better than anything its size has any right to. You are naturally special and you know it. And as you can see, it costs 10,500 Skybucks. Now, if your favourite plane is the B767-300, you fly the 767-300 once, to realise it has no personality and never touch it again. You didn't buy a plane, you bought a filler episode. It's too expensive for beginners, too boring for experts, and somehow managing to be mid in every single category. You don't love it, you don't hate it, you just regret the 12,500 Skybucks you will never get back. And yes, as you can see, it does cost 12,500 Skybucks, and it's my personal least favourite. If your favourite plane is the B7878, you fly the 787A because you want a long haul plane but don't have that much Skybucks. You act like it's a premium wide body, but you know it's the starter Dreamliner. You love it anyway because it's cheap, efficient, and lets you escape the 767 era. And I respect you for that. And as you can see, it costs 15,500 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B7879, you fly the 7879 because you want a big plane without committing to a 777. You think it's the perfect plane, and you're not wrong. You treat it like a flagship, even though it's only a stretch 7878. You say you're not like other Dreamliner users, but you're 100% like other Dreamliner users. And as you can see, it costs 26,000 Skybucks with the price of the 7878 added onto it. If your favourite plane is the B78710, you fly the 78710 because you want maximum seats and minimum shame. You don't care about realism, you care about revenue. You use the biggest Dreamliner because you want to feel like you're running a mega airline, even though you're still flying to Paris. You think this plane makes you look rich, but everyone knows you just like big numbers. And as you can see with the price of the 7878 and the 7879 added onto it, it cost 39,500 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the A330-300, you fly the A330-300 because you escaped the 7878 starter era and wanted personality. You act like this is the perfect balance of comfort, range, and vibes. And honestly, you're right. You love telling people it's calm, but panic when the AI glitch and don't serve drinks. You think you're posh for using the A330, but you actually just wanted a nice wide body. And as you can see, it cost 19,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the A340-500, do you fly the A340-500 because you don't just like quad jets, you live for them. You didn't buy this plane for efficiency or profit, you bought it for the aesthetic, the presence, and the lore. You know it's slow, heavy, and drinks feel like it's on holiday, but you don't care because it looks majestic doing it. You treat the A340-500 like a long-haul cathedral with wings, and everyone respects you for it. And as you can see, it costs 26,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B777-300, you fly the 777-300 because you didn't just want a wide body, you want a statement piece. This isn't a plane to you, it's your pride, your work, or your long haul kin. You treat the 777-300 like it's the backbone of your entire airline, and honestly, it is. You know it's reliable, powerful, elegant, and premium without trying, and that's exactly why you love it. As you can see, it costs 32,000 Skybucks, and is my personal favourite plane in the whole game. If your favourite plane is the A350-1000, you fly the A350-1000 because you want a modern flagship without committing to the A380 lifestyle. You treat it like it's the future of your airline, even though half the time you're just using it for the looks. You love the size, the presence, the vibe, but deep down you know it's the I want to feel important today plane. You didn't choose it for efficiency, you chose it for the aesthetic. And as you can see, it costs 38,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the A350-900, you fly the A350-900 because you actually care about balance, efficiency, and good design. You know it earns more personally, feels easier, and just works. And you will love that. You pretend it's your calm, sensible, long haul aircraft, but you're just proud you chose the version that makes sense. You don't brag about the A350-900, you let the performance speak for itself. And as you can see with the price of the A350-1000 added onto it, this plane costs 56,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B747-400, you fly the 747-400 because you understand aviation history, present, and soul. This isn't a plane to you, it's an era, a legacy, a whole personality. You treat the 747-400 like it's the heart of your airline because it is dramatic, iconic, reliable, and full of nostalgia. You don't fly it for efficiency, you fly it because nothing feels as right as for engine than a bump. If your favourite plane is the B747-8, hold on, I forgot something. This plane costs 45,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the B747-8, you fly the 747-8 because you want everything the 747-400 gives you, but bigger, smoother, and more dramatic. You know the plane is chaos in cabin crew simulator, but you love it anyway because it's your premium project, your XP machine, your long-haul powerhouse. You treat it like your luxury flagship. The plane you bring out once you want to impress the entire server. It's not just an upgrade, it's a statement. And with the price of the 747-400 added onto it, this plane costs 67,500 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the A380, you fly the A380 because you don't just want an airline, you want an empire. This plane isn't a plane to you. It's a floating palace, a two-deck cathedral, the crown jewel of your entire fleet. You treat the A380 like an event every time it leaves the gate. The jetways, the lighting, the lounge, the crew, everything has to be perfect. You fly it because it makes you look iconic. And this plane costs 55,000 Skybucks. If your favourite plane is the Concorde, you fly the Concorde because you want to feel legendary for 25 minutes. You don't care that it has weird stats, tiny capacity, or a cabin layout that makes no sense. You bought it for the vibe. You treat every Concorde flight like a special event, even though you only fly it once every 2 weeks and complain about it the whole time. You know it's impractical, overpriced, and completely unhinged. But it's the Concorde, so you love it anyway. And as you can see, it costs 40,000 Skybucks. And finally, if your favourite plane is the DC-10, you fly the DC-10 because you appreciate aircraft with history, personality, and soul. This isn't a plane, it's a time machine. You love the retro cabin, the old school layout, the tri-jet energy, and the fact it feels like flying an aviation museum piece that still works better than half the modern fleet. You don't choose the DC-10 for efficiency, you chose it because it makes every flight feel like a story, and as you can see, it costs 65,000 Skybucks. And that is it for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Legacy Wheels and Technician Tails. You guys have been awesome. And with that, good. Bye.